Welcome to a tool bag channel. This is a tool bag, and this is a bit of a PSA informational. I don't know what you want to call it. It's a video. It's a video. That's what it's called. It's called a video, and this is about there's a misconception that I see and hear both online and in real life, and I am encountering the consequences of this misconception a good bit lately, more than I'd like to. So I'm going to take two examples here, and I'm going to explain some of the issues with this way of thinking that people have adopted. Unfortunately, we're in a time in this industry, the state of the automotive industry, where oil consumption is really common. Oil leaks also really common. It's, we had this kind of for a lot of vehicles, you've got this golden age of like the 90s and the 2000s where there were a lot of really good cars that came out that people have been able to keep up for 20, 30 years, hundreds of thousands of miles. And so these old cars are still going around on the road, but things still age, they're leaking, stuff like that. And then juxtaposed with that, right alongside that, we have all these newer vehicles in the 2010s and 2020s now, where oil consumption due to low tension piston rings is a huge issue. So we've got this situation where all the old cars are leaking oil and all the new cars are burning oil, and the oil is just disappearing constantly. And so a lot of people are in this position where they're constantly losing oil and topping it off, and losing it and topping it off, and they're losing so much and topping off so much that they've come to the conclusion that changing their oil isn't really as important as it might be under other circumstances. I'll explain the logic here, how it goes. It's at the very just elementary level, without any of the nuance and stuff that's relevant. It makes sense on the surface. The idea is, okay, let's say I have a car, it takes 5 quarts of oil, and I'm supposed to change it every 5,000 miles. That's pretty typical nowadays, kind of the gold standard interval. Some people are still doing 3,000, some people are stretching it up to 10, 15,000 or whatever, but gold standard these days among professionals, myself included, seems to be every 5,000 miles is pretty safe bet for most vehicles. So the logic goes, well, I'm supposed to, every 5,000 miles, I'm going to be removing 5 quarts of old oil and adding 5 quarts of new oil. Well, I'm leaking or burning a quart every 1,000 miles, in a lot of cases more than that. But we'll say, just for the ease of the demonstration, we'll say I'm burning a quart every 1,000 miles. So in the course of that same 5,000 miles, I'm losing a quart of old oil, and I'm adding back a quart of fresh oil. Another 1,000 miles, I'm losing another quart of old oil, and I'm adding another quart of fresh oil, and on and on and on and on, blah, blah, blah. So at the end of every 5,000 miles, I'm removing 5 quarts of old oil, and I'm adding 5 quarts of fresh oil. And in this really basic elementary way, if you don't understand everything that's going on, that's like satisfying the conditions of changing your oil every 5,000 miles. It's not the same. It's not the same in a lot of ways. And you can get into some of those ways as regards to oil itself if you get into used oil analysis, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to take a different approach here, and there's a lot to be said from the approach of analyzing the oil. Don't discount that. There's a lot here, and because what I'm going to tell you right now, some people are going to think, oh, well, I'll just also change my filter every 5,000 miles, and I'll be good to go. That's better. That's still not good enough. But this video, we're going to look at the filters. These filters, one is off of a 2000, I forget now, didn't take my notes, mid-early 2000s Chevy van with a 6.0 liter LS motor. Great motor. that thing is still trucking on great despite the abuse that it's been through. This filter was on this van, which is leaking a lot of oil. It was on this van for over 30,000 miles. Now, this is a higher end filter, and I know people are going to say, that gum fram, it ain't no good piece of crap. Look here. Look at that. It's got the metal end cap, okay? See, it's really there. You don't have to throw a fit. These are actually, they're decent filters, okay? I don't really have complaints about them. Yes, there are better filters out there. Forget it, okay? It's a fine filter. It's a fine filter. Not a thing wrong with it. Better filters out there? Yes. That doesn't mean this is a bad filter. All right, that's out of the way. Over here, we have a less controversial one, Napa Gold, basically equivalent to a Wix, as I understand it. This is out of a mid-2000s Toyota Corolla, also 30,000 miles, more than 30,000 miles. This story is ending a lot worse than this story has. These guys, a little luckier than this one right here, sadly. Let's look at what has happened as a result of just topping off your oil constantly, putting lots of fresh oil in, losing lots of old oil in the process, changing it, cycling through that oil, getting rid of the old, putting in the new, but not in the context of an oil change and without changing the filter. First of all, inside the can here, that's nasty. That's nastier than I'm used to seeing. There's a lot of crap in there, and it's not good. Luckily, no like big flakes or anything like that. Happy to see that, and that's part of the reason that I think this thing is that engine is still going strong. It survived. Look at the filter here. Likewise, you don't really see a lot of like the metal crap, and boy, let me tell you, we're about to see some metal crap in places that it's not supposed to be. We're about to see little bits of engine where they ought not be found. But look at this thing. This has been through it. It's not all clogged up or anything, but this filter media is deteriorating. Oil is in a motor that's being run. It's liquid, yes, but it's not a pure liquid. That's why you have this filter. You have this filter because particulate is moving through it. This is supposed to catch that. But while it's doing that, that oil is moving through. It's carrying that particulate, those little bits of carbon, those little bits of wear metals and all this other stuff that is bombarding this paper here, or whatever it's made, synthetic media, I think. Whatever this is, it's bombarding it constantly. It's going through tons of temperature cycles. And now we can see, first off, these pleats have just been, they're all skewed and stretched and warped just from having that happen to them constantly. But they're also starting to tear in places where that stress becomes too much. And it's lost a lot of its flexibility. If I just push my thumb into it, I've torn that a tremendous amount. This is happening on a much smaller scale too. And so this is rated for a certain a certain level of filtration as far as catching a certain amount of particles this size. But clearly what this is made of is it's wearing out. The filter is not stopped up. It's literally wearing out from that wear, being microscopically sandblasted and put through all these temperature cycles back and forth, all these chemicals and everything that it's exposed to, little bits of fuel from fuel dilution. That's another reason to change your oil and not just top it off all the time. But this filter has had it, and it's only going to get worse from here. Now, this filter is designed to run, I think, 20,000 miles or something like that. I can't speak to how well it would have done in that circumstance. I would never run an oil filter that long, just me speaking here. Even if you're using a filter designed to run longer, I still think it's better to stick with a shorter, less controversial oil change interval. But this thing is starting to come apart, and as it comes apart, both on a macroscopic level where you can see it with your own two eyeballs, but also on a microscopic level where little bits of it are just being squeezed to the side, making larger openings in the filter media, particulate that should be caught is going to start passing through, where it can contribute to increased engine wear, possibly reach the point where it will do damage. Again, this one, bit of a lucky case, if you can consider anything about anything about this lucky. Lucky compared to what's going on here. Look in here, this is already a little bit of a different story. That is the forbidden glitter. And this car is limping along on diesel oil until this guy can get into something else, and it's not happy. I cut out a little bit of this. No, it didn't come out like this. I cut out a little bit so I could see what's going on in here. We have more of the glitter. This is pieces of engine that are where they're where they ought not be. They should never be here. Pieces of this size should never be here. This was a case of serious neglect. And this person was adding oil all the time, constantly topping off their oil, putting oil in. Let's see what happened here. This part I have not touched. We live in the real world. This is not 100% uniform. There are stronger and weaker places in this filter media. Here's a weakness. If we open that and look, I can see, and it might be harder for you to see. It's hard to tell what's what through the camera. But see, we have some of the glitter there, but some of that is holes worn through the filter media. Right there and there. You see that? Those are not flakes. I've checked. That's actual holes in the filter where, like I said, your oil is carrying this particulate, even if it's microscopic at first, it's carrying this particulate and it's microscopically sandblasting this filter as it runs through there every time you drive, every time you run the engine. You've got crap that's bombarding this thing, and it can only handle that for so long. That's why you change them. This is different than something like your fuel filter. Your fuel tank is not a combustion engine that's dumping, carbon and wear metals and stuff like that into itself. You get a little bit of contamination introduced when you fill up, possibly, depending on, how careful you are, cleanliness of the gas pump at the station, cleanliness of the gas from the gas station, all that kind of stuff. But fuel filters do not go through what oil filters go through. Air filters don't go through what oil filters go through. You have these other types of filters that, yes, they can go, 30, 50, 100,000 miles even. Some cars with 250,000 miles still running the original fuel filter. And it's a totally different ball game than this. Oil filters, you've got to stay on top of them, or you are going to screw yourself over. Even with higher quality filters, I know this one's controversial. I know the comments, if anybody watches this, if people watch this video, there will be comments about that filter, and they are not going to be kind. I'm going to have to talk to a therapist or something just because I said nice words about that, and now all these things are about to be said about me. Ha ha ha. But this one, not a controversial filter. This perfectly good filter. And if it had been changed at 5,000, if it had been changed at 10,000 miles, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't be making this video. And boy, here's another thing. This can also start to contribute to your leaks. And now I know here comes the thing. That gum Fram. Yes, this is the one off the Fram. Sure, I will say yes. This Fram filter does not have. It has an inferior filter gasket that is not designed to go 30,000 miles. The one in the Napa, it's still in pretty good shape. We've got a little bit of cracks here. But this thing, I would not be surprised if this was leaking. It was brittle. It's cracked. You see that? As it bends a little bit. This thing has cracks all throughout it. This thing was, this thing itself, this little onion ring itself was onion rings. So that was not helping any, I'm sure. I'm sure it was leaking some out of there too, as probably evidenced by, I mean, you got a 20-plus-year-old Chevy engine, of course it's leaking all over everything. It's just, that's the way it goes. Chevy V8 from early mid-2000s. No surprises there. Maybe this filter was nasty from just being leaked on by the rest of the engine, but I would not be surprised at all if that gasket there was also contributing to that leak, just making the whole thing worse, harder to keep up with. I know it's a pain in the ass to think, man, I've got to, you mean I have to buy all this oil to keep it topped off constantly, and then on top of that, I have to then throw that oil away so I can change my oil again? Yes, you do. Sorry. I don't make the rules. I just, I just fix these things when they break, and when I see a reason that they're breaking that is that could have been avoided, then I'm going to call attention to that too. In this case, yes, the way to avoid that is to changing this oil instead of just topping it off would have been a lot cheaper than what is happening as a result of this. Doing this, if they continue to do what they did with this, then they are going to pay a lot more money down the road than they would with just a couple oil changes as well. And likewise with other customers at other times whose oil filters I don't have with me, and not digging into all that. This is not the first or second time this has happened. This happens, and I see this happen, and I still see people online in the comments, different videos and things like that, talking about, oh, my oil, I lose 2 quarts of oil every 1,000 miles, so I don't even bother changing it. I just keep it topped up. That is changing my oil. Whatever they're saying to that effect. No, sorry. I wish it were true. I wish it were true. It'd be so easy. There'd be so many more great cars of that great era on the road to this day. But they are dropping. They are dropping like flies because people are doing this, and it's your fault. It's your fault. Don't do it. Change your oil and keep it topped off. There are ways that you can address oil consumption or reduce it. There are ways that you can fix oil leaks by actually fixing them. But that's for different videos, different times. Point of this, yes. The answer to the question, do I have to change my oil if I'm constantly topping it off by the amount that the oil changes or more? The answer is yes. You still have to change your oil. You have to put in your 5 fresh quarts of oil every 5,000 miles and then throw it all away and change it again and put a new filter on. You still have to do that. Sorry. I wish it weren't the case, but it is. So that is it. Y'all have a good one. Don't blow up your motor. Remember to dislike, report, and unsubscribe if you hated the video. And that'll do it for now.